What up, what up, what up? It's your boy. Kind of hurt. But in all seriousness, seriousness, I did that second one on purpose. In all seriousness, how you doing? Um, I'm not really sure how to go about this, so I'm just gonna go about it. So basically, what I'm gonna be talking about is relationships, more in particularly positive relationships, and just how important they are for us as people, right? In fact, in the notes I was taking, I think it's no secret. Everybody knows that us as humans are social animals. We just thrive. In fact, some of the greatest creations that we've created have come been due to us coming together as a people. The skyscrapers, like nothing amazing that we have now, someone builds by themselves. Every airplane is built with a team. In fact, there's in fact, funny enough, when in the reading it was talking about how the most important things, right, for us to survive as humans is water, food, and shelter. But on a psychological scale, the most important thing for us to survive are close relationships, not just relationships, but close relationships, people that are intimate, that we can be intimate with. Um, I think it's funny too, now that I think about it. I learned this a while back, but a lot of people who, should I say a lot? I know there were a good amount of people who dealt with suicide. And one of the things, I remember this guy on this bridge, he's getting ready to jump off. And the cop, I believe it was the cop, no, it was just a random stranger, just listened to him. And the guy got up now off the bridge and he was like, I just needed someone to listen to me. No one ever listens to me in my life. And that right there, just an indicator of how important it is for that's just a stranger. So you can just imagine somebody that he was more intimate with, if someone that he was close with would have took more time out to really been there for him. Some of the how that situation could have been prevented pretty much. And so the topic I kind of chose was, or not kind of chose, the topic that I chose is someone who's always on their phone. Now I chose this one because being in a younger guy, I have siblings. One sibling came to mind when I saw this prop. And so I thought it'd be interesting to read up on this from that perspective and maybe even be able to help him kind of understand why he's kind of going through that. For me to understand as a brother, and then to maybe even help him understand that himself. And so then moving forward, anytime he can identify that pattern, he can get up out of it. And so I think the reason why someone who deals with the phone addiction, the reason why close relationships or good relationships are very beneficial is because when someone is on their phone like that, they're very disconnected from reality. In some ways, man, I believe they're trying to escape reality. Through good and positive relationships, I think it just shows them that there's more to life. Like everything's not just bad, and it will push them to embrace more of that. In fact, they call it the mere exposure effect, and what this states is that the more often we are exposed to a stimulus, person or sound, the more likely we are to view that stimulus as positive. So if we look at that even in the sense of a phone, the more and more that they're staying on this phone, the more and more that they're going to view that phone as positive, especially even though now it's becoming healthy. But to that same token, the more and more they have positive relationships around them, the more and more that they'll look at those in a more positive lens. And so that right there will become, it's like almost like when someone's dealing with a nicotine addiction, some nicotine addictions, how they put them on a patch, it's kind of like that. The positive relationships are the patch to get them off of that. Let me see what else. What other notes we got here? Best moments of our lives are typically with people, not with cellular devices. The best moment, think about your memories. The best memories you have, there's usually someone else involved. Mom, dad, friend, brother, sister. I know for me, some of my best, I know for a fact, man, outside of moments with the Lord, all my best memories involve people. I feel like the ones with myself, they're typically more reflectionary based. I guess those are memories, but they're not going to be top of my list for memories at all. Let me see. Research shows that close friendships can protect our mental and physical when times get tough. Now, I also wrote down some of the dangers of cell phone usage, like for for the mental state. One is sleep disturbances. I have a cousin who was also my roommate, and he struggled with sleeping at night. And I know that he was someone who was constantly on his phone or some other technological device. Well, he would play the game before he went to sleep, and then he would get on his phone as he was laying down. So he would always have trouble sleeping. And in fact, I don't know if it's like there's a certain lighting in the LED with phones, but it makes it hard when you look at it before you go to sleep. It makes it hard. So it's recommended, if you want to sleep better, to not be on your phone an hour within your sleep schedule. That way you'll be able to go to sleep more easily. Anxiety, chasing dopamine, just that rush. Who's texting me? Reduced attention. I feel like I said so much for sleep disturbances. And reduced attention and productivity. I think that's the biggest one, because usually people on their cellular devices all the time, they're on some type of social media app, just from what I've peeped. And social media has been killing our attention span for a minute, because I think TikTok definitely helped with that. But just them little minute shorts, it's like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? I just want to be entertained. And, you know, you can only be entertained so much before you're like, I know for me personally, I get to a point where it's like, I've been at a place where it's like, I don't want to indulge anymore in this, but I have nothing else to do. And so I just keep on going. And so certain ways to beat this addiction, right? Set aside one day a week where you're not on your phone. Use apps to bolster self-control. What I recommend is if you have iPhone, I don't know what you could do with Android, but on iPhone, it has your screen time. And what I do is actually put a certain time limit on apps that I know I like to use. That way, I'm not on it as much, and it makes me more mindful of how much I'm actually spending time on that. Put your phone away when you walk into the door. So that means as soon as you step in the house, just throw it somewhere. I've done that. Change your cell phone settings, kind of like what I was talking about with the screen time. And then put a hairband around your phone. I didn't even read that one. I don't know about that. I've never tried that one, but it's what the website said. Now, personal story. Yeah, again, my little brother. And I've actually noticed that the times where he's more talkative, he's willing to connect with the family, he's willing to kind of even see how I'm doing, is when he's not on his cellular device. But anytime he's on that cellular device, anytime he's on his video game, he doesn't want to connect with us. He just seems sad. And one of my fears is that being on your cell phone all the time, it makes it easy to kind of run away from your eternal struggles. And if you push those off too long, before you know it, you'll be an adult. You'll be moving into your own life. You might be raising kids eventually. And I basically want to help him not get into a cycle of just running away from his problems, because you can only run so far before you got to fight. And so that's it. Yeah, no, this is not my other YouTube channel, but yeah, let me know your thoughts. What did you think? You got anybody that's ever suffered with this? And we're out. Peace.